let's see in practical example what is delegate, how to use delegate, and what is the use of delegate. I'm having one class. Inside this class, I'm going to create delegate. The syntax for creating delegate is delegate keyword, access modifier, and then delegate name. And we have to pass the parameters. This is the syntax for creating delegate. Now let's create method. Let's create another method, subtraction, a minus b. So generally for calling this method, what we have to do, we have to create object for this class. Let's create object for this class, demo t1 equal to new demo. So for calling this method, we have to use this object t1 dot add, and we have to pass the parameters or value for this parameters. Now let's run and see whether we are getting the output 3 and 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 5 minus 4 equal to 1. We have to get the output 3 and 1. So we are getting the expected output. For this, what we are doing, we are directly calling this method and passing the values. So we are getting this output directly. Now let's see what is the use of this delegate and why we have to use this. So I don't want to use this method directly. For that I have to pass this value, right? So I don't want to use this method directly. I want to make use of delegate. Delegate is a pointer. Instead of calling this method directly, I can use this delegate to call this method. So that's why I'm using this delegate. So let's see how we can use delegate. First we have to create object for this delegate. So what we're going to pass here is the method address, or we're going to pass this method inside this. So how we can do that? Just we can use this object. So hope now you understand what is delegate. Delegate is nothing but a pointer which allow method to pass as a parameter. So instead of passing the value directly, we are passing this method directly inside this delegate. So this is the concept of using delegate. Instead of creating object for this class and calling this method, I created object for this delegate and I am passing this method inside this. Now let's pass value 1, 3 and let's see whether we are getting the output 4. Yes, we are getting the output as 4. We are making use of delegate and still we are getting the same output as expected. This is because delegate is a pointer which is calling this method actually. Now let's create another object for the same delegate, C2. Let's call another method and let's pass the value 4, 3. We have to get the output as 1 for second one and 4 for first one. Now let's see whether we are getting the expected output. Yes, 4 and 1, we are getting the expected output. You can notice here I am having only one delegate, but I am using two different functionality, addition and subtraction. How that is possible? Because delegate is having capability to hold reference to more than one method. So that's why it is able to perform different logic for different situations. This is one of the advantage of using delegates. The first main advantage is we can able to pass method as a parameters. That is one of the advantage. And another advantage is delegate is having capability to hold reference to more than one method. So these are the advantage of using delegates.